And now back to National Geographic Explorer.
We've traveled with people who used the advances of the 20th century to break through barriers of the unknown. But let's face it, with the advances come problems as well. How do you avoid the pressures of modern life? Our friends in Brooklyn escape in their game on wings of flight over the city landscape. Others have rejected the 20th century completely, maintaining a simple way of life nearly 300 years old. Far from the madding crowd live the Amish.
Imagine a 17th century community successfully living in today's world, on their terms. Self-sufficient, simple, pious, and peaceful. They call themselves the plain people of God, the Amish. Here in Ohio, they are born, live, and die, leading a life that revolves around the Bible and the farm, the two things that nourish them and keep them together. The Amish form an isolated and tightly knit community, which encourages simple living and hard work. According to the Bible, if they live this way, they will ultimately be redeemed. Faith and simplicity are reflected in every aspect of daily life. The Amish live without cars, telephones, electricity, indoor plumbing, or VCRs.
In the modern world, the idea is some advanced technology will solve all problems. And we try to not be a slave to technology.
Their dress is plain. The purpose of clothing is to cover, not to decorate.
Everything we do, we can find it in the Bible because we take the Bible as the inspired Word of God and as the final guide in a changing world.
Men wear their hair long, covering their ears and foreheads. This style is ordained in the Bible. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads. Women don't cut their hair, but wear it tightly rolled in a white prayer cap.
The scriptures do teach that for a woman, it is a glory to a woman to have long hair. I believe that glory contained in a woman's hair is not to be exposed to the public, but it's only for her husband.
Growing up Amish means growing up surrounded by the love and devotion of a large family. Small children are showered with affection from relatives of all ages. The Amish home is strong and uniquely secure. Closeness is reinforced through hard work, especially in the fields. Little children are assigned chores as soon as they can walk. Next to God and family, land is the most important thing in an Amishman's life. The Amish feel strongly about caring for God's creation. The family is in the fields long before the sun rises. Soon after, those who are old enough leave for school. The children attend traditional elementary schools, but their parents do not believe in higher education.
The way the present-day school system is, we feel it would be against our convictions to send our children to public school. We have our own schools, basically, so we have a little more say-so over the curriculum and so forth, what is taught in school, and also the company that the children have in school.
After many disputes between the Amish and school boards, the Supreme Court finally ruled in 1972 that Amish children could leave school after the 8th grade. The Amish hoped this ruling would keep out the influence of 20th century America, but they found that this was almost impossible.
Well, we told the children when we were all through with hay, we'll go to McDonald's. And I kind of forgot about it, but the children didn't. When the hay was finished, they reminded me. And so we went up to McDonald's. French fries and hamburgers are really a treat for the children. The McDonald's in Worcester is a hangout for all the high school students. They call it cruising. Just drive through McDonald's and go about 3-4 blocks west and a block south and just make this circle. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, but I guess it must be fun for them. And they had a lot of these students standing around there, so we didn't want to go in there. We felt out of place there because we weren't cruising. We were hungry.
When children reach adulthood, they choose whether or not they will embrace the Amish way for life. They are then baptized.
When we join the church, when we are baptized into the church, we lose our individuality and we form one body. Same as if someone should make a loaf of bread, they take a lot of different grains of wheat, they grind them together, and they lose their individual shape and they form one loaf of bread.
If a member of their society sins repeatedly, he is shunned. Other members of the community will not even eat at the same table with him, do business with him, or socialize. However, through sickness, financial ruin, fire, or old age, an Amishman can always count on his neighbors for help. The community disciplines, but also supports and restores. Their way of life has survived over 2 centuries. The Amish take their name from Jacob Amann, who founded the sect in Switzerland in 1693. They're a branch of the Mennonites, who during the Protestant Reformation were persecuted for their beliefs. They emphasized the literalness of the Bible and praised the virtues of a plain life. The Amish arrived on our shores in the early 1700s and first settled in Pennsylvania. Today, they also live in Ohio, Indiana, and 17 other states in the U.S. and parts of Canada. Among the Amish, it's said that the man is in charge of the barn and the woman is in charge of the house. Their roles are traditional. The wife is a worker, a child-bearer, and a companion to her husband, family, and neighbors. Her husband concentrates on the harvest and supporting his family. All their days of hard work do pay off. For the elderly, the golden years are truly golden. Although their advice is still sought and respected, the burden of decision-making is now left up to their children.
My dad will be 79 this summer. When I think he started when he was 15 or 16. So he's been with the Thrasher for 60-some years.
They move into what's called the Grandpa House, an offshoot of the main farmhouse. Amish homes have a no-nonsense feel about them. They're without any modern conveniences.
I don't feel that we have to have the car or electricity in order to live in the modern world. We don't feel it's a necessity. It's a luxury.
The Amish house is basically a wooden frame painted white. Many have porches with the traditional porch swing, a good place for hot summer nights, and a place away from the main house for a courting couple to pass the time, talking. But Amish teenagers have their wild days, too. Most Amish parents ignore the radios and spiffed-up buggies because the young people have not yet officially joined the church. The Amish call this Rumspringa, literally running around. It's a time when no questions are asked. Well, not surprisingly, Rumspringa eventually leads to Amish weddings. In an Amish wedding, there are no kisses, rings, photographers, or caterers. Weddings take place in November, after the harvest. Viewed from the outside, the Amish are an anachronism. a people misplaced in time. Tourists look upon them with a curiosity akin to visiting the zoo.
Sometimes we feel like the monkeys on Monkey Island. You see all these people looking at you and wearing red shorts and sunglasses and knobby knees.
Naturally, they attract attention. But some feel the commercialism has gone too far.
Little statues and images and all that stuff, I don't feel we need that. That's no benefit to anybody. That's not the witness that we want to give to the outside world.
But the outside world cannot be completely avoided. The Amish and their modern neighbors have grown to depend on one another. Due to rising costs for farms and the scarcity of land, many young Amish are forced to work in carpentry shops, cheese factories, and small businesses in order to support their large families. Only 50% of the Amish today earn their living from farming. When they are employed by other people, they often must use things at the workplace that are not permitted at home, like electricity and modern machinery. Take, for example, this cheese factory. The owner of the factory explains.
The mainstay of the Amish people is milk. They milk their cows. They don't use the modern methods that the huge dairy farms do. And they don't go out and buy expensive feed rations. They generally do it the simple way. The best market for their milk is cheese. So the Amish depend on us, and we in turn depend on them. You have huge Amish families. They have a lot of children to work in the fields to help milking the cows, and they need to feed the families, and it's a continuing interdependence on down the line.
Unfortunately, losing their children to mainstream American life is inevitable. 1 out of every 4 born Amish eventually leaves the community. But because the Amish have such large families, their numbers continue to grow each year. Those who remain Amish believe God has called them to a life of dedication, humility, and service.
Being Amish to me is belonging and being needed in the community, the neighborhood, the family, and the church.
I guess I would say Amish means to me just leading a plain and simple life and living for God.
And it is that belief in God's personal interest in their lives and communities which holds them together and has done so for centuries.
National Geographic Explorer will continue right after this.